um, going. I don't expect this to be like a well-attended stream. I didn't go and advertise this to anyone. But I want to talk to you all about something that's come up that I reject and that I think deserves attention. And that is the difference between vote shaming and vote owning. Vote shaming is one where I take away your agency. I shame you for making a choice on your own. I shame you for not voting for someone or for voting for someone. That's vote shaming, right? Where you're like berating someone because they didn't follow what you thought they should do. Vote owning. Vote owning is what I advocate. And let me explain to you the difference between vote shaming and vote owning. I got berated. I got vote shamed, okay, for not being willing to just fall in line and vote for Joe Biden. That is what you call vote shaming, okay? And it was from your standard rank and file vote blue no matter who, okay? That is called vote shaming. I did not partake, nor do I partake in that, and I reject the concept of people that do. What I do believe in is vote owning. Vote owning, okay? If you understand what I mean by vote owning, what I mean by vote owning is this. If you voted for Joe Biden and you tell me you're for a Green New Deal, and you tell me you're for Medicare for all, and you tell me you're for ending student debt, and you tell me that you're for these things, if you thought the end of your vote was casting a ballot, being done, going back to brunch and checking out, well, you've got the wrong idea. To me, vote owning is owning the vote that you made. If you made a compromised decision, a decision that maybe I would disagree with, maybe you chose to vote for Joe Biden, for whatever reason you chose to vote for Joe Biden, you have a right to cast your vote however you see fit. I don't have to agree with you. But one thing I will tell you, if you do not then in turn hold your candidate accountable for what they have done, for what they do, for the things that go against what you claim you support, well, then I am pointing at you and saying you own the behavior, you own the activity, you own the responsiveness or the lack of responsiveness of whoever it is that you do vote for. Your vote is not some benign activity that you get to check out and pat yourself on the back for. I'm here to tell you that you own your vote. You own your vote. And that means that your job now didn't stop by the ballot box. It ends by you holding your candidate accountable. And you remember how everyone told us they were going to pull Joe Biden to the left, right? Now, okay, you said you were going to pull Joe Biden to the left. Now, obviously, you can't control what Joe Biden does, but you sure as hell can put your effort in to ensuring that Joe Biden, when he lied about $2,000 payments to people, when he lied about supporting a minimum wage increase, when he lied about student debt removal, when he lied, etc. Okay? The idea here is that if you voted for them, your job is to now hold, once they're in office, you voted for them, etc. Now your job is to hold them accountable. If you make excuses for them, you have blood on your hands. If you deflect instead of saying, hey, I made a strategic vote, but that son of a bitch isn't delivering, that's a perfectly valid answer to the question. It's not vote shaming to say your candidate that you voted for isn't doing the job. And if you actually believe they're not doing the job, and you then in turn go and say, I've had enough, it's time for Joe Biden to deliver student debt cancellation. It's time for Joe Biden to do something about the environment. It's time for Joe Biden to ensure that people get $2,000 checks like you promised. If you dare hold them to that, it's not vote shaming, folks. Do you understand that I don't know what you do inside of a voting booth, nor would I presume to tell you what to do inside of a voting booth? I am here to tell you, though, however, stop patting yourself on the back for a vote. A vote is just the most basic point of entry into civic engagement, into citizens' responsibilities. Inside your civic responsibility, the vote is the minimum. Once you've done that, you're hoping for the best, right? You're hoping for the best. Even though you maybe had 50 years of proof that this person was a right-wing racist pig, you had 50 years and said, the 50 years I've seen of austerity and war and racism doesn't nearly come close to how bad the last 4 years were. So I'm going to take your 50 years, put them off to the side, and I'm going to focus instead on the last 4 years. If you do that, that's fine. It's a value judgment you've made. However, the real issue comes down to this. The real issue is, did you hold them accountable during the time that they were in office, or did you make excuses for them? When you saw other activists fighting back, did you then in turn punch the activists? Did you punch down? Or did you punch at the elected representative that didn't do your bidding? Think about what I'm saying. That's not vote shaming. If you believe that's vote shaming, I assure you we have a very fundamentally different perspective of what it means to vote shame someone. I would never vote shame someone. But I am here to tell people that if you did not hold them accountable, if you do not maintain that, if you just cast the vote and let everyone else have to deal with the fallout, if you let the poor suffer because of austerity, because Joe Biden has started to reduce the deficit, because he didn't give $2,000 checks to people, because et cetera. If you do your vote and then walk away and leave the poor to suffer with your decision, I find that to be reprehensible. Is that vote shaming? I don't think so. I think that's called getting civically engaged, becoming an activist, doing your part. So you guys vote however you want. But just know that when your guy votes to cut the deficit that kills poor people, I expect you to be standing up to that person and saying, hell no. Don't call that vote shaming. Call that vote owning. That's what it's called, vote owning. Vote owning. Do you understand what I'm saying? Vote owning. So anyway, that's where I'm at, guys and gals. I hope that it worked for you. If not, I don't know what to tell you. That's where I'm at, so I am out of here.